A political earthquake has just ripped through Mumbai. Seriously, after 3 long decades, a political dynasty has come crashing down in India's financial capital. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what happened in the 2026 municipal elections, who came out on top, and what it all means for the future of this massive city. I want you to just think about a number for a second. 30. 30 years. That's more than a generation. For some people, it's an entire career. In politics, well, in politics, that is an absolute eternity. Because for those 3 decades, one single party, the Shiv Sena, had an iron grip on Mumbai. They ran the show. But the 2026 election results, well, they've slammed the book shut on that long, dominant chapter. And they did it in a pretty dramatic fashion. So, here's the headline that's got everyone talking. The Uddhav Thackeray-led faction of the Shiv Sena has officially lost control of the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. You probably know it as the BMC. It's a huge deal. That 30-year reign over the city is over. Now, to really get why this matters so much, you have to understand what the BMC actually is. This isn't just some local city council, okay? It is the wealthiest, most powerful civic body in all of India. Whoever controls the BMC controls the money, the infrastructure, and pretty much the entire future of a global financial hub. The stakes, you guys, could not be higher. So, with the old guard out, a new group of power brokers has stepped in to take control of Mumbai. The victory went to a really formidable alliance that has, quite literally, redrawn the city's entire political map. The whole battle for Mumbai really came down to a clash between 2 major teams. On one side, you had the winners, the Mahayuti Alliance. That's a partnership between the BJP, the ruling party at the national level, and the Shiv Sena faction led by Eknath Shinde. And on the other side, you had the alliance led by Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena, which is known as UBT, along with parties like the Congress. And when you look at the results, it wasn't even close. The Mahayuti Alliance just surged ahead, leading in over 110 wards. Meanwhile, the Thackeray-led alliance really struggled, barely getting past 68. The numbers here tell a really, really clear story. This was a commanding win. So the big question is, how does a 30-year rule just crumble? Well, this result didn't just happen in a vacuum. It's really the climax of years of political chess, and most importantly, a super dramatic and bitter split right down the middle of the Shiv Sena itself. This timeline really shows you how we got to this point. The Shiv Sena's dominance kicked off way back in the 90s. Even as recently as 2017, the party, still in one piece, came out on top. But the real earthquake moment was in 2022, when the party fractured into 2 rival factions. That internal split, that was the real setup for this 2026 showdown, which has now crowned a totally new victor. So, with such a big win for the Mahayuti Alliance, you might be thinking it was just a total wipeout for their opponents, right? Well, not exactly. In the middle of this political landslide, there were still these pockets of really fierce resistance and some pretty notable victories for the other side. A perfect example of this comes from Ward 183, right in the Dharavi area. Here, the Congress candidate Asha Kale pulled off a huge win, beating her Shiv Sena rival by more than 1,200 votes. You know, on a day that was incredibly tough for the opposition, this was a really important bright spot for them. And after her win, Asha Kale didn't credit some big political wave. She said it was a victory of party workers. It's just a powerful reminder, isn't it, that even in these massive elections with huge political tides, the final results can still come down to the hard work of people on the ground. That story is so compelling. But if we zoom out from that one single ward, we start to see that the larger political earthquake that shook Mumbai, well, it wasn't an isolated event. It was actually part of a much bigger pattern that's emerging across the entire state of Maharashtra. The exact same trend was playing out in Pune, another one of the state's major cities. Over there, in the Pune Municipal Corporation, the BJP also took a major lead, pushing aside the decades-long influence of the very powerful Pawar family. This really points to a broader, pretty significant shift in the urban politics all across Maharashtra. Okay, so what does this all mean? We've looked at the results, we've got the history, we see the wider trend. Let's try to boil this down to the crucial takeaways from this historic election. All right, here are the 3 big things. First, this is without a doubt the end of an era. A 30-year hold on power in Mumbai has been broken. Second, there's new leadership in town. The Mahayuti Alliance is now firmly in control of India's richest civic body. And third, remember this isn't just a Mumbai story. It signals a major regional shift in the politics of Maharashtra's biggest cities. And all of this leaves us with one final, absolutely critical question. With a new political guard in charge for the first time in a generation, what does the future hold for the 20 million people who call Mumbai home? That's the story that we're all going to be watching unfold.